So, good morning. Second year Bcom Computer Applications, third sem Rdbms, fifth unit Distributed Databases, Rdbms, Distributed Databases and Client Server Databases. So, what is a client server databases? What is the structure of client server databases? How the client server databases are used or working? Objective definition of terms, list of advantages of client server architecture, explain three application components, presentation, processing and storage, suggest partitioning possibilities, distinguish between file server, database server, three-tier and n-tier approaches, describe and discuss middleware. So these are the main objectives of this PPT. So what is the main use of this? What is the client server systems? So client server, in the client server environment, generally there will be one server which is connected with many clients or nodes by using some wires or cables or wireless. So mainly these client server technologies are used to process distributed databases and between clients and servers. So mainly these client server technologies are used in distributed databases or distributed DDBMS. It is also called as DDBMS databases. So what is a client? Client is a workstation, usually a PC or a computer that requests and uses a service. So generally what is in a client server systems, here we generally a client requests or asks for a service or some request to the server, and server generally responds to the PC or a computer that provides a service. For DBMS, server is a database server. Generally in client server database systems, the main database or the database is generally stored in the server system. Why? Because server is a fast machine that accepts or connects to multiple clients or PCs or nodes. So what are the objectives of this PPT? Means generally what is the definition of client server, advantages of client server architecture. So what are the main advantages, what are the different advantages of client server databases, what are the three-layer components, three-layer application layer components, presentation layer or presentation component, processing and storage. Generally in a client server databases, the structure, the architecture means generally here we also explains about the architecture or the structure of a client server. Means generally the structure or architecture of a client server databases environment contains three layers. First one is presentation layer, presentation layer, second one is processing, and third one is storage. In the presentation layers, we imagine simply write some application, uses some applications and places application servers, web servers like that. In the processing means all the processings to the databases, and storage layer means physical storage or physical servers or physical systems used, and what are the such partitions, how the partitions are used, partitions of the databases like that. So what is the distinguishes or differences between file server, database server, three-tier and n-tier approaches? Generally in three-tier architecture we may use file server, database server, and so database server is the main. Database server contains original databases. File server means other applications, and web server means all the web applications, and we can extend up to n-tier approaches. So similarly we can explain about middleware applications and others. So in a client server environment or systems, it is generally a network computing model It is mainly used for distributed databases, or DDBMS, or distributed databases are used to store and process. Generally, these DDBMS databases are used to store in client server environment in server systems. What is a client? Client is generally a workstation, usually a PC or a computer, that requests and uses a service. Means generally PC clients request for something, and server machines or server systems may process the request and send back the results to the PCs. So server is also a computer or a PC with PC mini or mainframe that provides a service, and client generally provides usually works with workstations. So in a client server environment or systems, that generally for DBMS, the databases are stored and maintained in a server database, server machines or servers, database servers. So how the client server applications or application logic in client server systems. So this is a basic structure or how the client server systems or a client server environment works. So generally the client server systems or environment is divided into three parts. First one is DBMS. One system or one layer is dedicated to DBMS activities, means database operations. Second one is for procedures, functions and programs. Third one is GUI environment. So it is a three-layer architecture generally. So this is the structure of a client server layer or a client server architecture. Generally it contains three parts: presentation logic, processing logic and storage logic. Presentation logic means presentation layer means all the front end part like GUI interface, forms, like that, like input output by using some input means keyboard, mouse and output means printers are used. And second one is processing layer, or processing layer means it contains all the input output operations, processings, business rules, data management, by using some procedures, doing some functions, programs and application programs and others. And third layer is storage logic or storage layer. Generally all DBMS, original DBMS is stored and maintained here by using various data storage retrievals. All the DBMS activities are takes place here, like physical DBMS tables, all these things. So what is the structure of client server architecture, or what is the architecture or structure of a client server databases? Generally client server systems or architectures are contains three parts as we discussed. First one is file server architecture, second one is databases, third one is three-tier architecture. So client does extensive processing, client does little processing. From means generally in the at the file server level or file servers, generally clients requests are more, whereas in the three-tier architecture the processing is little less. So file server architecture. So first we discuss with the file server architecture. Second one is two-tier database server architecture. Third one is these are the three server architectures. So first one is file server architecture. File server architecture, all processing is done at the PC, that is requested the data. Entire files are transferred from the server to the client for processing. Problem is huge amount of data transfer on the network. Each client must contain full DBMS, heavy resource demand, and the client DBMS must recognize shared logs. Means in the file server architecture, all processing is done at the PC that requested the data. Means in the file server, the PC or a computer contains all the databases. So entire files transferred from the server to the client for processing. So all the files should be transferred to the servers for processing. Means it contains some large amount of data transfers and network traffics, and each client or a PC must have full DBMS for updations. So it contains many network traffic, it contains many traffic signals, and it contains many other problems. Next one is this is the architecture of a file server architecture. So in the file server architecture, generally the data or databases are served in the file servers, and the clients are connected through LAN to the servers. And generally clients request for the processor scan tables, application programs, user interfaces, database processings, and generally they contain full DBMS or full databases. And at the same time the server will request for the data or request to the log data. And so file server, in the file server, file storage, there are many other components like file storage, record locking, and other techniques may be used. So two-tier database server. Second one is two-tier database server. In the two-tier database server architecture, client is responsible for input output processing logic. So some business rules logic. Server performs all data storage and access processing. DBMS is only on server. So this there are first one is file server architecture. Second one is two-tier database architecture. In the two-tier database architecture, the difference is the original DBMS or the original database is mainly stores on the server system only. So client is responsible for IO processing logic. This client is only for processing all IO input operations. Some business rule logics, and server performs all data storage and access processing. So advantage of two-tier approach means what are the advantages of two-tier servers or two-tier database servers compared to file servers. Means clients do not have to be as powerful, and greatly reduce data traffic on the network, and improve data integrity since it is all processed centrally. Stored procedure DBMS code that performs some business rules done on the server. So in two-tier architecture, generally clients have less performance, and there is no means almost reduced data traffic on the network, means like in the file servers, and improved integrity, data integrity means improved data integrity means perfectness or correctness. So improved data integrity since it is all processed centrally, means in the two-tier architecture. So generally the DBMS or databases are stored at central system, so that means all the central databases are maintained and created, so that the database integrity is very tightly maintained, so that database is perfectly maintained and perfectly doing all the things. So stored procedures, DBMS code that performs some business will done in suppose. Generally all stored procedures, functions, and other type of procedures are generally written in the server side only. So what are the advantages of stored procedures? Compiled SQL statements, reduce network traffic, improve security, improve data integrity, and thermal claims. So this is the structure of two-tier database server architecture. Two-tier database server. In two-tier database architecture, the figure is almost same. Here we maintain some database server. In that, some data or database is maintained. By using LAN, clients or client systems or PCs are connected to the server, and they request for data, and generally The DBMS are the databases. The DBMS or databases is generally stored on the server system only, so that there are many applications of using two-tier architecture. Means first one is clients have less performance and clients have lesser operations. Second one is there is no network traffics. Why? Because all the databases files are kept in server systems only. And data integrity, mainly database in data integrity is perfectly match, means all the databases operations, means all the transactions are perfectly done and completed on the server systems only. So this is the structure of architecture of a two-tier architecture, two-tier database architecture. So third one is three-tier architecture. What is three-tier architecture? Another architecture. Three-tier architecture contains three layers. First one is client, second one is application layer, and third one is database layer. So in the three-tier architectures, three-tier client server networks, the first layer is called as client layer or client layer. The second one is the application server. Application server means generally all the applications or all the web servers, online applications and real-time applications are stored at application layer. Means it is a server system. So, and the third server is database server. In database server, all the databases are kept in these, and these three are connected by LANs. So in the clients, in the first layer, clients generally uses web applications, internet-based applications by using GUI-based interface. Means online applications or applications are for by using some browsers. Means clients generally access the applications and databases by using browsers, by using some GUI-based web applications. In the application server, all the applications, web applications, real-time applications are stored. Generally in the application servers, all the applications are stored in web servers. In these application servers, all the business rules means all the processings are done. And the third one is database server. In the database server, all the databases are maintained. So for storing large databases, and other DBMS operations are taking place here. So it is also called as thin client. What is a thin client? PC just for user interface and a little application for some limited data storage, sometimes no hard drive. Means in the three-tier architecture, the role of client is almost reduced. Why? Because clients can simply access the application. Client means PC. By using some interfaces, means by using some web servers, by using some browsers. Little application means there is almost no application processing, and there is no data storage. Even sometimes there is no hard disks are also not required. So this is called as a three-tier architecture of a databases or three-tier architecture of client servers. So in this diagram it shows in the first tier the client systems pieces are used. They are thinnest clients. Second one is by using some LANs. These clients are directly connected to application server and database server. Application server contains web servers, all the web applications, online applications, and in the database servers, all the original data or DBMS softwares or databases are maintained. So in the application server only, all the business rules. Generally, business rules and business means application code will be maintained on separate server. The database layer only, DBMS only on the database server. So this is the structure of a three-tier architecture. So what are the advantages? What are the advantages of three-tier architecture? Scalability, technical technological flexibility, long-term cost reduction, better match of systems to businesses, improved customer performance, competitive advantage. It gives scalability and technology flexibility means we can use allowed to use any type of technologies. Long-term cost reduction means less costs. Similarly, business rules, business needs, improved customer services are also improved, and competitive advantage and risks are also reduced. సో ఇక్కడ వరకు మనకు సరిపోతుంది ఎగ్జామ్కి. సో విల్ స్టాప్ హియర్.